the people who refuse to give you the respect that you deserve, God can see it all. And if you can trust God, if you can step and then communicate the confidence instead of communicating with fear, instead of complaining, instead of letting people intimidate you out of your position, instead trust God and speak to your future and the future of the mission that God entrusted you. Hi, I am Patricia Muladisdale, founder of Ladis Nation Enterprises, back with the Women in the Bible series. Yeah, I know we shared the life of Deborah and Jael, and I know one comment was that this was a terrible story. Yes, it was, but this also speaks to the strength of these women in leading their nation through a hard and difficult time, and how they had to make hard choices to save their household. So today I want to share 5 principles that I found in reading their stories that are applicable and relevant to our time right now. Number 1, be comfortable with being the first and only in your position. You see Deborah as the first female judge leading the people of God. Do you think that came easily for her? Do you think it was easy for her to lead other men who probably envied her position? Do you think it was easy for her to establish respect and authority in her community? Of course not. It was very difficult and challenging, but she accepted the position, and nowhere in the text did I read anything about her complaining or lacking some kind of confidence. She trusted God because God assigned her the position of being a judge and a prophetess. And she accepted the assignment, and she served her people boldly, unapologetically. Number 2, you have to communicate with confidence. When Deborah called the commander and shared with him what God asked him to do, and his response was, well, you go first and I'll follow. And Deborah did not spend time trying to unpack the commander's fear, trying to convince him, oh, this was God. God told me to do this. I am telling you the truth. No. So she said, since you are afraid to go to battle, God, you're not going to get any honor from this, but God is going to deliver his people by a woman. And that happened just as he prophesied. Well, one important thing in that story is that God never initially planned for the commander enemy to be killed by a woman. But Deborah went ahead and said this because of how Barak responded to her, and God backed her up in her prophecy, in her position, because God can see what you are going through. God can see the microaggression, the discrimination, the stereotype that you are encountering at your workplace, the people who are undermining your authority, your position, the people who refuse to give you the respect that you deserve. God can see it all. And if you can trust God, if you can step and then communicate the confidence instead of communicating with fear, instead of complaining, instead of letting people intimidate you out of your position, instead trust God and speak to your future and the future of the mission that God entrusted you. Number 3 is learn to navigate microaggression. So I've already explained this, gave it away in number 2. You know, as a leader, it's very important to know how to navigate the discrimination and the microaggression and everything that will come as a result of you being in a leadership position. They will come no matter what. It doesn't matter what you are doing. It doesn't matter what you do to earn the respect of your peers. It doesn't matter how you hold yourself, you know, the amount of work that you are putting in, the projects that you have, the resume, the CV that you have, outlining all of the success that you've gotten in your position. You will encounter at least one person in your workplace or wherever you are that's just not in agreement with where you are in life. That's somebody who's just determined on undermining you, somebody who's just determined on disrespecting you, somebody who's just determined on making you doubt your ability. So as a leader, as a godly leader, your response, you should not react, but instead response. Your response should be a response of love. It should come from a place where you are secure in who you are as a child of God. You are secure in who you are as a confident woman. You are secure in a person who's been entrusted a big responsibility, and you are determined to see it through. And this was what Deborah did on that moment. Number 4 is take calculated risk. We see Jael, she spent a lot of time around the enemy camp, but you did not see her making a move when it was not the time. Her move was timely. I know it is a crude part of the story, the way that she killed the commander. I know that was a very crude aspect of the story, but if we can get past the way that she did it, think about the way that what he took for her to get to that point. She had to think fast, and she had to take a calculated risk, because at any point, if anything had gone wrong, that would have cost her her life, that would have cost her her family, and probably the whole battle in general. And that would have cost, the whole nation even more misery, because the worst thing that could happen to your enemy is for them not to be destroyed completely and have them coming back to kind of just take their revenge on you. Number 5 is do not hold grudges. In chapter 5, we see Barak and Deborah and Jael. They were all celebrating the victory together. Deborah did not say, "Oh, well, you did not believe in me. Well, when it was time for us to go to battle, you did not come with me." No, they were all singing and praising God and worshiping together and singing song, because they understood the bigger picture. Sometimes it's easy to get petty when you are at a leadership position, because now you are at a point where you can tell people, "I told you so." You can tell people, "Oh, I was right." You can tell people, "Oh, you see, this was what happened. I told you this was gonna happen." So whenever you find yourself in a position where you are right in the first place, and the actions and the situation that happened after that prove your point, be humble and understand sometimes that people come at you from a place of fear, from a place of their own doubts about their ability to accomplish the things that you are accomplishing in your position. So be humble with your success, be humble with your victory, the victory that God gave you, and learn to celebrate as a community, and learn to embrace even the people who did not trust in you in the first place. I'm gonna stop here. There was a lot of word, 5 very basic principles that you can apply in your life, that you can apply at your workplace, or everywhere you are in your position with God. So let me know in the comment which one of the principles that you're going to apply in your life, and stay connected with us. Bye.